Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CallTrackingMetrics 2019 Year in Review and 2020 Preview. We have a lot of exciting content to cover, but before we dive into it, I wanted to start by thanking you all for attending today's webinar. Our goal is to provide you with the information, resources, and tools to get you excited and ensure that you get the most value out of your CallTrackingMetrics account. Wow, what an incredible year it's been. In 2019, we've introduced an exciting new live chat product. We've launched a direct integration with Google Ads, landed on top industry awards, made countless product and feature enhancements, including building a handful of truly impactful integrations, added professional services packages dedicated to the success of your team on our platform. We've scaled our team by 40% in the last year to continue to support your growth in the years to come. We've got a fantastic agenda planned for you today. We're going to dive into the top features and integrations we've launched in 2019, highlight industry trends for your business, highlight industry trends your business should be on top of, touch on customer feedback informing our product roadmap for next year, and we're going to finish with live Q&A. We're going to cover a lot of material today, but don't worry, we'll be sending out a follow-up support email with help docs and anything else you want to learn more about, as well as a copy of this recording and the slide deck. I'm pleased to introduce our panel of presenters today. We have Todd Fisher. Todd Fisher is CTM CEO, who is very excited to talk about our 2020 plans. We have Lori Fisher. Lori Fisher is our COO. She recently was the recipient of a very impressive award. She was rated number 6 on the top 50 women leaders in a SaaS list. And we have myself. My name is Jessica Michaels. I'm our product coach here, and I'm excited to talk about all of our new Google integrations. With that, here's Lori, who will be kicking off the presentation.
Great, thank you, Jess. Welcome, everyone. We are excited to get things started with a review of all the various projects our team has been working on this year. As we look at 2019, we have a number of themes. As I look across them, I think the big theme to me is that we were looking for all the different opportunities to allow businesses to unify the communications on our platform. So we're going to walk you through these major enhancements. In particular, we're going to spend time looking at the new shortcode functionality that we added this year, which allows customers to use our shortcode purchasing and texting functionality to level up their text message marketing efforts. And Jess is going to go through our new live web chat feature so that you can provide faster, more effective customer support all within our one platform. So let's get started with shortcodes. So we'll start with some of the basics. Shortcodes are short phone numbers. They are short 5- to 6-digit numbers that are used for customers in marketing and advertising efforts. And in particular, they're used to generate and build customer lists. Shortcodes have high message throughputs, so they can send much more than the traditional 1 message per second. They can send up to 100 texts per second or more. And you've heard shortcodes in radio ads, TV ads. They're very easy for customers to remember, and so they also give you a perception of your business as a large established company. So as we think about the process for shortcodes, it can be arduous, and so we've spent a lot of time getting the application process ready and as smooth as possible for our customers. So we will guide you through the application process, which usually takes a month or two, and we will help you find the right dedicated shortcode for your business. Our shortcodes are dedicated shortcodes, which means you are the only company that will be using it. That's very different than a shared shortcode. You might see other providers offering kind of cheaper offer shortcode options, which is usually the case that you're sharing that shortcode with another company. So shortcodes you purchase on our system will be dedicated just to you. And as I mentioned, we'll help you make the application process as smooth as possible. The CSCA has very strict guidelines around who can use shortcodes and how they can use them. They have particulars around use cases and content that can be delivered through them, and the processes that you need to have in place to manage people opting in and out of them. One of the really exciting things about the release of our shortcodes is that we developed a new contact list feature that allows you to build up lists of customers and engage with them using CallTrackingMetrics. So your opt-in, opt-outs are automatically updated in your customer list in CTM. And using our trigger functionality, which Jess and Todd are going to talk more about, it allows you to automatically add, remove, and organize people in your list based on how they're interacting and responding to your text campaigns.
All right, thanks for that, Lori. Another really exciting release we had this year is live chat. So let's start with the why. Why are we so excited about live chat? Well, for starters, it helps increase customer satisfaction and boost sales. And did you know that more than half of consumers prefer to chat with someone in real time online rather than call a company for support? Customers now expect to see live chat as an option on your site, especially when visiting via mobile. It also helps save time and money by delivering faster service with fewer resources. Here are some of the benefits of using chat. Chat allows you to consolidate your software spend and reduce reliance on third-party tools, manage multiple service touchpoints within one unified communication dashboard, empower agents to serve customers quickly while giving them the tools to customize and expedite their communications across your organization, track your marketing efforts for chat in addition to calls, texts, and forms so you can optimize your advertising strategy. So let's take a look at it. Here we have the chat interface. With live chat, you can customize the colors, widget placement, and auto start messages that appear. Here's the view of how your agents interact with chat. It's built right into the softphone. CallTrackingMetrics empowers you to manage your calls, text messages, form submissions, and chat all in one dashboard. Your team can easily multitask and switch in between conversations without leaving the page. In order to use the chat, you must first purchase chat licenses. It's super simple to purchase a license. It's $19 for marketing plans and $15 for contact center plans per month. Once you have your licenses, you need to assign them to your agents. Assigning them is easy as clicking. The licenses can be shared and easily reassigned. Our chat is powered by queues, so you'll need to have at least one call queue with agents assigned to it. Another thing that is so neat is that you can use all the same fancy scheduling options for your call queues for your chats. That's part of the benefit of using the system is you're leveraging our pre-built routing platforms for chat too. The queue settings will control the distribution of the chats to your agents. From here, you can customize the agent routing rules to accept calls, just chats, or calls and chats. The default will be calls and chats. Additionally, you can set how many concurrent calls, chats, and combined activities the user will be able to accept at once. Another fun feature is each user can add their own auto response macros by editing their user profile and create yourself an alias for a chat name. My alias is Jasmine. In addition to that, clients on our contact center plan can edit the team settings to create a group of auto response macros to be available to the agents, and actually all the agents on the team. Chat gives your team the tools to work more efficiently and deliver instant service for your customers in their moment of need. We're really excited about this feature and can't wait to hear your feedback. In addition to shortcodes and chats, we've also made tons of other notable enhancements, such as account level reporting. This is very helpful for agencies to capture and filter reporting for select sets of sub-accounts. This feature allows you to filter for one or multiple accounts in both your call log and activity reports. We've introduced multi-queue agents, which provide greater flexibility for agents to toggle their availability between specific call queues, and better manage calls. We've also added the form reactor to be included on our marketing plan, which adds more value with unlimited form tracking and powerful functionality to automate instant outreach for customers. So a little bit more on the form reactor. I've always said that the form reactor is one of CTM's unsung heroes that really has the wow factor. The form reactor, it's a click-to-call form that can immediately trigger actions such as a phone call, a text message, or an email when a form is submitted. Here are a few examples of ways that companies across different industries use the form reactor to quickly engage with prospects. A real estate agency embeds the form reactor on their property listing so prospective home buyers can indicate interest in a particular home. Once the buyer submits the information, the company can send automated and personalized text message follow-ups with the customer about upcoming open houses or similar homes they might be interested in, or offer to connect them with an agent. Another example is a doctor's office. A doctor's office can generate an instant callback to a patient after they submit a request appointment form on their website, immediately connecting them with the administration staff. And one last example, a property management company can embed the form reactor on their community page so that renters can submit urgent repair requests and receive immediate responses via text message or phone. Utilizing Form Reactor helps you automate your internal processes and save time and resources in connecting with prospects, all while wowing your customers. Next, I'm going to pass the presentation back to Lori, who's going to share some really exciting new features. All right, here's Lori.
Great, thank you, Jess. Definitely wanted to spend a couple minutes talking about some important enhancements we've made on the support and billing side, my favorite topics, that have been designed to try to make things easier for our customers and to help them get the most out of their CallTrackingMetrics account. The first thing is our self-service number restore functionality. You might recall that if you released a number, you used to have to contact our support team to have them restore it back into your account, and they couldn't always do that. Now, after you release a number, you can now restore it back to your account, provided it is still available. So this gives you a lot more control and flexibility over your account and your number management. Second thing is our enhanced professional services. You may remember in this webinar last year, we talked about our new fast track onboarding packages that we were just launching for the first time, which gave new customers access to a dedicated professional service consultant to work directly with them to set up their account. Those have been so successful across the past year that we're now offering account assessment packages for our existing customers. These are audits conducted by our professional services team where we review your account and develop an action plan that will help you implement updates to your account so that you're using CTM to its fullest and that everything is accurately reporting and set up to meet your objectives. Finally, our annual prepay option is another enhancement that's been very successful across this year. Customers have been asking for this for years. You can now save money on your account by signing up to pay the subscription fee in advance. So that's available in your account. If you go to the Change Plans page, you'll see that option now to pay annually. So switching gears a little bit, we wanted to talk about all of the amazing work we've been doing on integrations this year. In addition to a number of new integrations, we've been busy enhancing some of our existing essential marketing and CRM integrations. A few highlights of some things Jess is going to talk about. The first is our exciting new direct integration with Google Ads, where we communicate directly with the Google Ads API, so conversion data flows seamlessly between the two platforms. You may recall that you used to have to do this through a connection with Google Analytics. The second exciting enhancement to our integrations is triggers. Triggers are now integral into many of our integrations, and they're really important because they allow you to have more control, customization, and automation around your integrations. So Jess, I'll turn it back to you.
That was great. Thanks, Lori. All right, next we're going to explore how to level up your integrations with the use of triggers. Triggers automate processes in your account based on specific aspects of a call, such as applying tags, adding dollar values, sending text messages, or updating custom fields. Actions can be triggered at the start or end of a call, or based on events detected during a call. Triggers can be applied to different groups of tracking numbers so that you can have different actions take place for different advertising channels or customers in your account. They also help customize precisely what information you want to sync across integrated platforms. We've introduced some very exciting and powerful integrations this year, all of which are trigger-based, which gives you maximum flexibility on when and how we communicate with the platform. So we're going to explore a couple of those. Zendesk. Zendesk allows users to map real-time data across both platforms and enhance your customer service. Next, we have Microsoft Dynamics. With Microsoft Dynamics 360, you can access contact records from Dynamics directly within CTM's call log to add context to customer conversation. We've also added a Google Data Studio integration, which gives you the ability to build highly visual dynamic reports using your CallTrackingMetrics data, and we have even created custom templates for you. With MailChimp, you can automatically add or remove contacts to email lists in MailChimp based on CTM records. With BWO, that helps you understand which website variations are driving calls and conversions in CTM. And with Magento, you can attribute orders and revenue amount in real time to calls, text, chat, and forms. Another really exciting integration is our Google Ads Direct Connect. So why do we build this integration? Our legacy integration relied heavily on Google Analytics to chaperone conversion information between the two platforms, which was difficult for our team to provide troubleshooting and support for, because the majority of the setup lied inside of Google Analytics. So this integration comes with some great benefits. One is that this is our first truly bi-directional communication that connects directly to Google Ads API, so data flows freely between the platforms, and it directly influences conversions for click-to-call and click-to-landing pages in Google Ads. Before, we could only attribute data from click-to-calls. We didn't actually influence the conversion, and now we do, and we've really streamlined and simplified the process. So let's explore that a little further. This integration is a big win for agencies because it's our first integration that connects to the agency level, meaning that you can effortlessly connect all of your CTM sub-accounts to your Google Ads accounts with a click of a button. Another fun new feature is we're giving you the option to choose which platform you want to control the attribution for the activities. Before, Google Analytics was our source of truth. Now we give you the option to pull the attribution right from ads itself. The choice is yours. CallTrackingMetrics will create what is known as a preset trigger for the conversion. What's even cooler is in CTM, we'll automatically create 2 new conversion actions inside of Google Ads account to map the activities to. Seriously, how cool is that? The preset will default to sending for inbound calls, which are greater than 60 seconds. You can choose to modify the trigger to further qualify what you wish to attribute as a conversion. For example, you can choose to include activities other than just inbound calls. You could choose to include things like forms and chats to count as conversions. The last really awesome feature on this page is, yes, we create conversion actions for you, but we also give you the ability to select from the dropdown all the other conversion actions you have created in your ads account. We can map to those as well. So if you already have imported conversions, and you want to send those into your CTM activities, that's not a problem at all. Simply select them from the dropdown. With our new diagnostics report, we can now see everything Google Ads can see, meaning we can automatically detect if landing pages are without our tracking code. We'll be able to detect if you're sending traffic to pages where a phone number isn't visible, and we're able to tell you if phone numbers on the pages aren't swapping for a tracking number. Since the launch, this report has had a huge impact. This may sound strange, but our clients have been raving about all the errors this report has helped them uncover. And they've been able to improve their ads for optimal call tracking, which is a fun new concept. And we're really excited about all the positive feedback we've been receiving. 2019 has been a year of growth, expansion into new features and integrations. And the theme of Thanksgiving, which is next week, I am so thankful for all of you attending today. I've had the pleasure of working with many of you personally, and I look forward to working with all of you in the years to come. Our customers have always been a driving force behind CTM, and we appreciate all of you. Okay, now who's excited to see a preview of 2020? With that, here's Lori.
Great, thank you, Jess. So now we are going to look ahead to some of the very exciting things we're working on for 2020. So 6 trends and themes as we think about our 2020 focus. First one is navigation. Customers are busy, and we are continuing to push our software forward to make it easier and easier to use, as well as providing an increasing supply of education options for customers to leverage in a variety of formats. Second theme is omni-channel or multiple communication formats. Our name might be CallTrackingMetrics, but we're not just providing call tracking anymore. Using CTM, you're now able to track text, forms, and as you just heard, live chat interactions with our customers. While we don't ever doubt the quality and value of a phone call, the fact is that in 2020, your customers want to be able to communicate with you in their preferred method. That's why it's very important to adopt an omni-channel communication strategy to be able to handle and optimize communications with customers in any format. Third theme is automation. Todd is going to tell you about all the various ways that we are increasingly leveraging automation to make your life easier and for your teams to operate more efficiently. Personalization. This goes right alongside automation. The fact is that customers want to feel like you are personally connecting with them, and our tools allow you to do so, but efficiently using automation tools. And finally, reporting. How can we give you access to the critical metrics that you need while also providing you the customization that you want to make it yours? So with that, turn it over to Todd to talk through some of the things that he and his team have planned for next year.
All right, thank you, Lori, so much. Thank you, Jess. As we look to 2020, some of the things that we're going to be focusing on is going to really be around the user interface, and that involves enhancing how you navigate the site. So you may find in the main menu the option to opt in to the new nav, and we encourage you to try that out and give us some feedback. We'll also be integrating additional kind of in-app proactive tools to give people more insights into things that they could improve about their use of CallTrackingMetrics. So we recognize that there's a lot of opportunity to provide more guidance, and so we'll also be introducing some additional online certification training courses, which will be more personalized, and we think that that's going to be very beneficial to many of you. And I think so then the other thing I think is a really interesting stat here to share is this idea that about 48% of businesses are actually equipped to deal with text messaging, and 9 out of 10 consumers want to text the business. So that means there's actually quite a big number of people out there that are not adopting SMS, and we'd love to see that change in 2020. That kind of speaks to kind of our strategy or our thinking here, which is, we have live chat, which allows you to engage with your customers via the web page directly. Texting is a way for people to engage with you maybe while they're on the go, hopefully not driving. Web forms is a great way to capture insights about a customer, and web forms also have sort of a nice dual purpose. And one of the dual functions of a web form is that we can capture conversion data for things like e-commerce transactions, and then leverage that to figure out maybe that this person has called you in the past, or chatted with you, or sent you a text message. So I think that's also a great area for people to explore. We'll be continuing to enhance our live chat capabilities through 2020 with integrations. We're looking into Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp to integrate into more communications platforms. We also want to embrace this idea of team communications, because we think that you will be more effective in helping customers if you can effectively communicate with each other as well. And so we'll be focusing on that as well. We strongly believe that SIM cards is potentially an excellent way for us to help bridge the gap with service teams and sales teams that are mobile. We also believe that in enhancing our native application to meet the simplified needs of our end users will also help with that. So along the same lines, automation. So automation is key to a lot of this. So connecting all the different communications channels together and providing actionable value on top of those different channels. So it's one thing to be able to take calls, make phone calls, have live chats. These are all the basic bread and butter of communications that we all need and embrace. But there's so much opportunity here with the amount of data that we're interacting with that we could make some automated things that really enhance your ability to connect with your customer, right? Because that's what it's all about. So automated reminders, I think is going to be a really useful tool for doing like scheduled service calls. Make sure that everyone is, particular person is still going to come to the dentist tomorrow, so send them that text message reminder. Make sure that the doctor is able to connect with the patient. So auto dial. Maybe you have a scheduled conference call and you want to make sure that your phone rings and you get connected automatically. And then also just thinking about sort of ways of understanding what the conversations are about so that we can make better routing decisions based on what we know from that particular person in the past. So with that, it's interesting to note that 70% of customers or consumers in 2019 only engage with marketing messages that are customized into their specific interests. So this gets us into personalization, right? So we've always been able to send text messages. We've always been able to communicate with you. But imagine a world where those text messages are specific to you. They're tailored to each of your customers. Maybe there's something specific about a person that you want to consider when that person calls in. This person is particularly sensitive to any kind of sales pitch, so make sure that you don't put a hard sell on them. So that could be information that's very valuable to an agent answering a phone call, right? Or make sure that when Bob calls in, he's routed directly to Lori because they have a good, a good rapport with each other, and it's a much more effective experience for Bob, right? So that gets into also being able to then intelligently segment your customers, right? So people will be in different stages of your funnel. So being able to segment those customers into different contact lists, and then based on that sort of funnel, channeling them to different sales representatives or prompting them or sending different messaging to them, right, is all going to play into improving the customer experience and ultimately increasing your sales. When we think about artificial intelligence, like, because it's all the buzz and the rage, we think about it in terms of two things. One is we want to help improve conversion rates, and we also want to help people understand who their customers are. So when we look at the transcripts of a phone call, what information can we extract from that to help you maybe pinpoint that this was a scheduled appointment, or what information can we potentially notify you of, alert you if something is going south on a phone call, and you want to make sure you can intercept that call as a sales manager and help maybe rescue a deal. So that's all kind of on the personalization front. And I think SMS, again, I want to make sure everyone understands, like, personalized SMS messages in mass is really an effective use of text messaging, and that's what people should be thinking about in 2020. Moving on, when we start to think about some interesting advertising use cases, with our platform, you'll be targeting folks with Google Ads. So people are going to be searching for your brand, clicking on your paid advertisements, and then after they've clicked on that ad, make a phone call, have a conversation. Maybe it's a live chat, maybe it's a text message, maybe it's a phone call. Then something interesting happens on that to that person. They buy your product, they sign up for your newsletter, they schedule a demo. Whatever that conversion point may be, then we want to take that particular contact information and send that to Facebook to help increase the breadth of your advertising channel, right? We want to find more people like that person that clicked on that Google paid ad and start to do brand awareness marketing to them via Facebook. So I think that's a really compelling use case that we hope to see more people adopt in 2020 to sort of enhance their advertising efforts. So then capturing every part of the customer journey. So that really gets into sort of, sort of the big picture here, right? Which is we want to help unify all of your communications under one umbrella, because we think that this is a much more effective way of capturing that full customer journey to understand how did they find us, what sort of touch points resulted in a sale or a conversion point or a success factor, and how do we help you automate that and understand that better to improve it, right? So measure it and improve that. So hopefully we'll see all these pieces come together, and we'll see that 2020 is going to be one of the best years ever for all of our customers and for CallTrackingMetrics, and really looking forward to this year with everyone. And I think that with that, I'm going to pass it back over to Lori.
Great. Thank you, Todd. So thinking about how you can best stay up to date on all of these things that Todd just gave you a preview of, there's a number of things that we would suggest. The first is we are always out at conferences and trade shows, and I know a lot of you are as well. So you can, for example, see us in Nashville, Scottsdale, and San Francisco just in the first couple of months of the year. So if you subscribe to our blog, you'll be able to always stay up to date on the conferences that we're at. You'll also be able to stay up to date on all of our new product releases and upcoming events, and get helpful access to resources like trends and reports that we're putting together. Also, important to note about all the webinars that we're doing and the live training. If you are not familiar with it, I highly recommend that you visit our support hub. You will see along the left-hand side, we have all of our resources as well as our live training schedule. Jess, who's you heard from earlier, is regularly conducting training webinars talking about new features and talking about best practices for using our software. And she also every month conducts our Academy, which is a week-long training session. So definitely encourage you to take advantage of that. Now, a few logistical things as we come to the end of this, and we definitely do want to leave some time for questions. We will be sending a follow-up email to this webinar with materials to help you start to immediately leverage some of these new things that we talked about, so you can immediately jump in and start learning about them and enabling them in your account. We are also going to be sending out a survey, which will ask what you thought of some of the things that we talked about today, and see if you find any of them particularly interesting. That will help us continue to refine our roadmap. So thank you. At this point, we want to answer a few questions. We have a few minutes, and it looks like, Jess, I'm going to turn it over to you to help moderate this.
Yes, thank you, and great job to both of you. All right, so if you have questions, start entering them into the question box. We've already been getting some throughout the presentation, so let's go ahead and jump into this. So here's one for you, Lori. Are licenses billed monthly or annually? And I'm assuming that's referencing chat.
Yes, that's a great question. So right now, you will see if you go into the settings menu in your account and you go to licenses, you will see that you can purchase them monthly. But we are very shortly releasing the ability to purchase them on an annual basis for a discount. The nice thing about the licenses right now is if you do want to just try chat for a month, you can add it and remove those licenses at any time. They're also flexible. You can reassign them to different users right on that licenses page as well. So if you have kind of multiple agents you want to switch the licenses between, you can do that. So again, you'll find all of that in settings, user licenses, which is a new area of our site, which we expect to expand as we roll out additional licensed products.
All right. All right, we're getting a bunch of them. So here's another one, which I think I'll actually take. It says, I'm already using the Google Ads script integration for click-to-calls. Should I disable this if I utilize Google Ads Direct? Well, that's a great question and one that's come up a lot since we've released this integration. I actually would recommend using both integration. So there's a few reasons for this. The script integration pings Google Ads hourly, which the direct integration does as well. So the odds are that those pings would offset. So what it will do is actually increase the time that we're going to be getting the attribution for you. So it actually speed things up by using both of them. Another reason why you might want to use both is the script integration is what delays sending the call extension events into Google Analytics. So if you don't have that delay enabled, we'll send those events into Analytics and they'll go in right after the call is completed, so they won't have any attribution connected to them. So having them both, I think, is really beneficial in a lot of ways. So great question there. All right, here's another one. This one I'm going to direct at you, Todd. Someone asked, does chat offer image transfer?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so people can put their images directly into the chat interface. Supports most standard image formats. In addition, I see someone asking about mobile UI for the chat interface, and yeah, so it is mobile enabled. It's designed for handling either web chats directly or people on a mobile device to chat in. And in both cases, it would support images, so you could put screenshots or images that you want to share. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Okay, so here's another one. This one I'm going to point at Lori. Someone asked if, what if I already have a short code? Can I use them inside a CTM?
Yes, you can. So, as shortcodes, as I mentioned, there's a process to go through to get them approved and using and get them ready for use for your business. So once you have one, you don't want to let it go. You've got two options. You can keep the lease of your current shortcode with your current provider and pay a secondary lease to us to route the traffic using our software. Or you can choose to port or transfer the lease of that shortcode over to us and pay just one lease fee. So both options will work, and each of them have a process that goes along with them. But the nice thing is once you already have your shortcode, that approval process to get it up and running on our system is going to be much faster than if you were going through the approval process for the first time.
All right, don't go anywhere, Lori. I got another one coming at you. All right, someone asked, how long do professional service engagements usually last?
Good question. So as I mentioned, we offer packaged options for new and existing customers that allow them to kind of have a full audit and a full view of their account and have our professional services team kind of start to finish set it up for them and make sure it's set up optimally. Those range from 30 days to 90 days to complete, depending on the complexity of what you want to have accomplished. The other option is that you can do a more kind of one-off project, which would be where we're just helping you with something more specific. A very common one is helping customers set up the integration with Salesforce. So if you already have your account all set up and you just want somebody to help you get the Salesforce integration set up correctly, we can put together a package for you for that. Another very common one is, let's say you have like a bulk number of phone numbers that you want to purchase and get configured, but you know it's going to be kind of time consuming for you. You can offload that to our team, and that would be just kind of a simple add-on project that we can take off of your plate and get those numbers all purchased and configured for you.
All right, thanks for that one. All right, Todd, this one's going to come at you. We have someone asking if they say, can you only communicate via live chat in the soft phone, or is there a place in the individual call that the live chat will show, much like text messages?
Thanks. Yeah, that's a good question. So, so the agent would be handling the chat in the soft phone, and the nice thing is that it's that way they can be handling chats and calls at the same time. Managers can view the chat log. So there's a chat log where they can see all of those active conversations, and so they can kind of like live listen, right? But they can live monitor an ongoing chat conversation, so they can see it all happening in real time. I think it's pretty nice this way. Along the lines of mobile, so the nice thing is that you can even live monitor these in the native app today. And so, like for example, I was at a conference the other day and I was had a little downtime, so I was like checking some live chats that we were doing here in our team and offering some tips about how to maybe solve a problem with our team back home. So yeah, it's absolutely doable, and I hope hopefully I've answered your question. Thanks.
Yeah, and another little comment on that is I saw someone asked, commenting in if we use our own chat, which we do, which I think is pretty cool as well, that we actually use our own products. So, okay, I think this is probably going to be our last question because we're trying to be time conscious. This is also coming at you, Todd. It says, will the new SMS tools function along the same lines with geo zip code call routing and allow automated routing to communicate using SMS? Oh, that's it, Todd.
So I'm gonna take some guesses here, and so I think that what you're asking is, can we do things like respond to an inbound message based on geographic information about the caller, right, or the texter? And the answer would be yes. So text messages generally would be processed through triggers. So you receive a text message, your triggers can analyze the content of the message or look at the properties of the text messenger, and based on that, respond differently, right? So maybe I see that you're in California, so I'm gonna say, what's up, dude? Or you're in New York, so I'm gonna be a little more formal. I don't know, I'm just kidding. But you could basically customize your responses based on the geographic information, or maybe you can do something which would be more meaningful in this case is, you have certain areas of where you provide service, right? And so the GeoRouter encodes that service, your service territories. And so then based on your text message inquiry, we could either respond with, unfortunately, we don't provide service in your area at this time, or you could provide a message that is, maybe routing information, to get to the nearest service station, you need to follow these directions, right? So yeah, this was pretty good. I hope everyone enjoyed this. And like I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to 2020. And great job, everyone. Yeah, and I should just say thank you everyone so much for being amazing customers and asking such great questions. And really, I think because of all of you, this is, like I said before, this is going to be such a fantastic 2020. I'm really excited about the features that we have upcoming, and we will be at a bunch of conferences this year, and so we'll share that with all of you. As we get more details. I saw somebody asking if what conferences we'll be at in 2020, so I figured I'd mention we'll be at a bunch. Yeah, I look forward to meeting many of you in person at those conferences. So we'll make sure we get that schedule out to everyone as soon as possible. All right. I think with that, we're gonna say thank you again, and bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.